Hello, everybody. Welcome to Adam and Steve, not
Adam and Eve,
the podcast where we bite the apple. All right. Well, Adam, we are back for another fun episode.
Yes, we are. I'm excited about this one.
Me too. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Doing good. Just thankful for everything after Thanksgiving.
I know. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. I mean, it's after, but we didn't get to tell you beforehand. But before we get to going, we have a special guest for you guys, and we're really excited, right?
Yes, super excited.
So we have with us Roy, who is your psychic medium, right, Roy? Or
that is correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for being on.
Yes, thanks for joining.
Yeah, give the people a little introduction to yourself real quick.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, thank you so much. Hope everyone had a really happy Thanksgiving holiday weekend. My name is Roy Tomko. I am a psychic medium empath. I am from the East Coast, so I'm out from the New Jersey area, born and raised. And I basically help intuitively provide beautiful messages of healing, guidance, direction for people who are out there looking for ways to spiritually get some clarity and be able to hear from loved ones on the other side and maybe even get some direction for their life moving into the future. So I just really enjoy providing a lot of healing and a lot of growth for people all over the U.S. primarily is where I'm really working. I do some Canada. I've done a little international as well. And it's been just really a beautiful, beautiful journey for me. So again, thank you so much for having me. And I'm happy to answer any questions and go through a little bit of how it started and all that fun stuff with you guys as well.
Yay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited.
Me too.
Thanks again for coming on. I think we should just jump into that.
I know.
I have so many questions.
I know. And it's really funny because we, our friend Greg, when Greg was on the podcast, was like, you need to meet Roy. Like, Roy would be pretty awesome. And I was like, yes, let's talk to Roy. Yeah, I know. We were like, this sounds amazing. Yes. And then I talked to Roy a couple of times, and you're just awesome. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And we missed you when you were here because you were doing some readings at Mickey's. And
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was I was really looking forward to hopefully being able to connect with both of you and doing this there while I was in the West Hollywood area.
Yeah.
But I know timing and the way things just lined up were, just a little off. I was there actually visiting for my birthday. I had a great time. I love West Hollywood. I've been out there about 4 or 5 times. But yes, I was doing readings at Mickey's, which is a phenomenal place. I love Mickey's. I always visit Mickey's when I'm out there.
Yep.
And a really good friend of mine, Kate Moss, does a brunch there.
Mm-hmm.
And she had invited me to come and do some beautiful oracle card readings for people during one of her brunches. And it was just amazing and, just a great time and give some beautiful messages for people. So, yeah, it was so much fun.
I know. I definitely wish we could have come by.
I know.
And,
you were out of town, Adam.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you were out of town at that time. So, but you know what? Look at us now.
I know. Connecting across the country.
I know. It's kind of amazing.
But yeah, so.
It's always a good time connecting.
Yeah, definitely. Where are you originally from?
I am from New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay.
Nice.
And New Jersey.
You're based in New York right now, you said?
I'm based in New Jersey as well.
Oh,
so
okay.
Literally I live probably maybe 10 minutes out of the Lincoln Tunnel.
Oh.
So if anyone is familiar with, New York, Manhattan, the Hell's Kitchen, Chelsea area, I am literally 10 minutes. When you go through that tunnel, I can be right there in Chelsea or Hell's Kitchen. So, it's beautiful. I'm born and raised in New Jersey. That's where I'm out of right now. But a lot of my clientele is, again, New York and West Coast California, which I love. So I love being transcontinental across the U.S. It's so much fun to be able to, just merge right across the country with everyone and just connect. And it's beautiful.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure you meet so many cool people.
Yeah. Well, how did tell us I don't know. I don't want to be like, how'd you get started? Because this is a gift that you've probably had your whole life, right?
Yeah.
Like, how did you know?
So basically, I've always been able to see and communicate with spirit as a very young child. I always would know or see that there were others around, right? But as a child, because children are very, very innocent at a very young age, it's like you don't know, are they real? Are they imaginary friends, right? So children just kind of blur the line a little bit because we are so innocent when we are young, and we're able to see so much more than as we get older, right? Our vibrational level is so much higher as a young child. So I would always be able to see, like, I would come home and be like, oh my God, Mom, I saw this man walking around the house, and he always walks around the house. And my mom would be like, okay, that's an imaginary friend and whatnot, right? So I always knew that it was more than an imaginary friend. And she's probably like, why are you talking to an old man? But I knew that there was more to it, right? But, then what happens is, like, you get older and No, I was never afraid of it. Never afraid of it.
Okay.
I always embraced it.
It's like some crazy ghost that's like haunting you, like, and
No, I always embraced it and I loved it. I mean, I've saw so many different things. I mean, the journey has been very interesting for me, just because, and a lot of psychic mediums will tell you this as well. Everyone's journey is a little bit different, and people develop or do the work at different points in their life when you feel called and when the universe is actually telling you that it's time for you to do the work. Okay. But we all have our moments as we are able to know and see, right? And the thing is, I've had my ups and downs with it because, when you're young, you see it, then you start to go to school and, it's enough already being, a gay child, a gay man, right? And in school, you're dealing with that. But then to also be able to tell your friends, well, guess what? I also can communicate with people on the other side who are no longer with us.
How did your friends react to that when you would tell them that?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't really tell them. For a very long time, I like blocked it.
Okay.
You're like, there's someone standing.
So I turned it off, right? So I like turned it off. So, and it's very interesting. So, like, just a little quick thing is, like, Spirit will understand and it will know when to come in and when to pull away. And Spirit knew that I was going through enough as an adolescent child going through school and dealing with so much with just trying to fit in, that it knew it did not want to give more than what could be handled.
Okay.
As you grow older, right? So what started to happen in high school was I started to notice that my friends would come to me a lot for, like, advice. And then all of a sudden the advice would be coming true. Like, oh my God, what you told me happened. Oh my God, I can't believe what you said happened. Oh my God, this happened. And I never really put the lines together until much later in life, when I started developing more, doing mentorships, working with other psychic mediums internationally, that what I actually was doing was providing them psychic intuitive guidance my entire life and not realizing that that was actually what I was doing.
Wow.
Yeah, and you're like, I should have been charging for this the whole
right.
time.
You're like, you know what?
Well,
you guys all owe me a lot of money.
Right.
They're all gonna get an invoice. They're all getting an invoice. Here,
it's not too late. It is not too late.
They're all gonna get an invoice now.
Wow.
But it was all part of the journey, right? All part of the journey. And then, I worked and, I've had my issues with it. You learn a lot as you do this as well, right? And it's just interesting. Some people are open, some people are not open to it. So it's just been a really beautiful experience overall. I love what I do. I love helping people heal. I love helping people get on the right path, helping people feel balanced, and communicating them with their loved ones. So I'm really now living in my truth, which is, like, the most beautiful thing about it all.
That's awesome.
And how did your parents, how did do they know? Did you talk to them? How did they, like, deal with it? Like, were they supportive?
I have the best parents in the world.
Oh,
they are 100% supportive, 100% supportive of not only me being, a gay man, but also a psychic medium.
Great.
So I hit them with a double entendre, right?
I really did.
Like, it's not only, hey, I'm gay, but I'll see dead people as well. It's spirit. Hello.
Did you kind of know they were going to be that way?
Right.
Right, exactly.
Right. You just drop it on them at dinner. You're like, okay, now pass the potatoes.
Well, the good thing is, like, they were getting inklings about, like, me being a psychic and spirit and communicating, like, since I was young. So when it finally came out full blown, it was not, like, a big thing, but, like, I came out of the closet twice, essentially, once as a gay man and once as a psychic medium. So it's been, like, two coming outs for me, which is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. When you say a psychic medium, is there a difference between, like, that and being psychic? Being a psychic, is that just the formal term for?
So, some people are just psychic. Some people are just mediums. Some people are psychic mediums, right? Or psychic medium empaths. So I'm a psychic medium empath. An empath is someone who can pick up on other people's emotions. So if you're feeling sad, I start to feel sad. If you're happy, I can be happy, right? So empaths pick up on the emotions of people very, very easily. That helps us to tune in. Psychics communicate with you as an individual and will tell you guidance about your life. So I feel that currently you might be going through some financial stress. I feel currently that your relationship may not be going the way that you want, but I see a change in your relationship in this time. And psychics give predictions, right? So in 2022, I see this could happen for you, right? That's like what psychics do. And mediums communicate with loved ones on the other side. So your grandmother's coming forward, right? And I feel grandma is telling me that she would have enjoyed when you and her spend time in the kitchen baking cookies, right? So we provide information to you to know that your loved one from the other side is there with you and giving you what you need, you know, to feel that connection, that bond, to know that your loved one is there, okay? So that's kind of the difference, okay?
Okay, because that's what I saw you doing in one of the videos that I was watching. So it was really good, which was like reading the Queens, which we will talk about because it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And then you also said you do oracle cards?
I do oracle card readings, which are a lot of fun. So those are, again, intuitive. It's an intuitive tool, basically, right? Like a pendulum. Anything that we use to help us connect with our sitter. Our sitter is the person that's sitting with us to be able to give them the messages that they need or we're looking for. The cards basically help to tune into their energy, and they usually show us what that person needs to know. They will provide a message. And if you watch my lives that I do on Tuesday, reading the Queen or reading the King, you'll see that at the end of each show, I pull oracle cards for some of the viewers or some of the people that are watching to give them little messages, right? Yeah. Because that way it becomes very interactive and people really feel connected and everyone loves a little bit of a message. It helps people feel uplifted and you know, just really part of the whole entire journey, and it's really beautiful.
It is. From what I saw, it was they were loving it, and it was really cool. You know, it was really you were hitting it right on the spot with me. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it was just right on, and it's really interesting to watch the people like their reactions when you say these things that are like, you know, spot on. So.
Thank you.
That was really nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, you know, and I don't know how many you actually got to watch, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, but each episode is so unique, and I just like everyone to know that when, you know, you are coming for a reading, whether it'll be a psychic reading or a mediumship reading or a combination of the both, I always tell everyone to have no expectation whatsoever. Yep. Whatever you might have seen, whatever you might know, if you've had readings before in the past, come into it with an open heart and with an open mind, because when you do that, it allows you to receive what you truly are meant to hear. And I compare readings to like a snowflake. Each reading is unique to each individual, to what that person needs to hear at that moment in time.
Makes sense. Yeah. So how did your journey get to the point to where you started giving people readings?
So I basically, you know, like I said, I was doing it basically throughout my life, not realizing what I was doing, right? And then, you know, the pandemic, a little bit pre-pandemic, is when everything really started to kick into high gear for me. And I really started to feel as an empath a lot of what the world was going through. And I really felt like my calling really kicked in for what I needed to help and provide healing for people, because people were really going through it, especially in the beginning. And I felt very, very called. And I got messages from my guides, from Spirit, to say, you must answer the call now. This is your time, right? So, like I said, everyone gets it at different times in their life. It might be early, it might be middle, it might be later on in life. And it just was like, okay, this is my time to do it. And I just embarked on it. I've trained, I've taken mentorship programs with a lot of different mentors. I've taken practices and practice circles. I've done so much to really sharpen and hone in on my skill. And I continue to take classes, continue to learn, continue to get myself involved with others in my craft, right? To continuously grow, evolve, expand the awareness, right? Because when you're an intuitive individual, it's like a muscle. I compare it to like a muscle, and it doesn't really shrink. It just stays where it's at, or it can continue to expand. So you can just continue to grow and grow and grow more, which is the most beautiful thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I love it. It's what I do.
I think that's cool. And I think that the fact that you love it and you continue to work at it and make it, you know what I mean? Because like anything that you do and you want to do well, you have to work at it, right?
It's like anybody who has,
You have to.
It's like having a talent, you know, like, I mean, it's like the same,
but you still have to,
you have to practice,
right.
You have to, you know, perform,
you
have
You have to hone the skill, right?
Exactly.
Hone the
skill. That's what we're trying to think of. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, if you're a hairdresser, right? Like you went to hairdresser school, you start cutting hair.
Yeah.
You need to continuously take classes because haircuts change.
Like, please continue to take classes.
Please continue to take a class because I don't want my hair to look like 1970s, like a bowl cut, you know? So,
right, a Dorothy Hamill cut.
Please take the class. Please continue your education.
Right.
But it's like a lot of fun. And you know what that does? That opens you up too, because what that's done for me is I now as well, I mentor and I also teach, right? So I teach beginners, I teach intermediate. Yeah. And I do mentor as well. So, you know, it's really a lot of fun. I teach some classes with a partner of mine. Me and her together, we're both psychic medium empaths. We both have trained together in multiple different classes. And it's been fun. We came together, we teach some classes together and we join forces. And then sometimes we'll teach separately. And it's just really a great time. So it's just nice to share also and be able to help others grow who feel that, you know, is this normal? How do I evolve? How do I expand, right? Who feel that moment of like, what do I do? It's just nice to be able to help them and give back.
Yeah, definitely. That's amazing. I'm kind of curious on how you handle the negative out of it, because I know that there's probably a lot of people that have, you know, bad things to say about, or like they don't believe, or you know, and if you're an empath, like, does that really affect you, and how you kind of deal with that?
So, I mean, for the most part, I'm going to, you know, knock on wood a little bit here. My journey has been very blessed, and I have really worked with a lot of beautiful people. I always set an intention to bring me people that truly are going to serve their and my highest good with messages, right? So that will bring me the people that truly want to hear, right? And we attract who we really want to come to us as well, right? So that's kind of what we do as people. I set boundaries, you know what I mean? I do cleansings, I set intentions, and to block out any negative energy that I might get during a reading or anything like that from maybe a spirit or messages, right, where I'm providing some stuff that may not be of the best for that individual that they might be going through. I do at the end, you know, I do a whole process. I don't want to say it's like a ritual, but, you know, we do bring down the white light from the divine. We do surround ourselves in a bubble. We do sage ourselves. We do cleansings. I do a lot of meditations. I do a lot of yoga. I do a lot to make sure that I'm centered and I'm balanced at all times.
That's really good, and probably very obviously very important in what you're doing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it. You know?
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't be able to sustain it because you would be absorbing all of this energy and not releasing it, and it would be very hard for you to continuously be able to provide others information because you would be so stuck with all of this other residual energy that you're carrying with you. So it's really, really important to make sure that you are cleansing properly, meditating, you know, releasing the energy, breaking down the white light, surrounding yourself in this white light, encapsulating yourself, you know. And this is something that I do daily, just so you know. Like, for example, sometimes I can't even walk into a Home Goods, like, for example, because there's so many people with so much energy, especially now with the holidays. It's like chaos, right? And for someone like myself who's an empath, I'll go in with like a friend, I'll go in with my mom, and I'm like, I can't be in here. Like, I have to leave. It's too much for me. And I walk out. I regroup and I try to, you know, and I center myself. I bring down the white light, and I go back in. I basically shield myself. And I kind of imagine a neon sign in my head that says closed. And that kind of blocks it for me, right? So it's like a visual thing. So it's like you imagine this sign saying you're closed, right? So when you go to a store, they have the closed sign. That's kind of what I'm like. And then that kind of tells spirit to say, you know what? He's not open, not ready for business. Let's not bother him. We're standing away, you know? And then I can turn it on and I do open and they're in two different colors. And that's when I turn it back on again.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. I didn't
even
think about that.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, sometimes I go into a Home Goods or a store during the holidays. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. But
there you go. So imagine how I feel.
Yeah, but that's very interesting.
Yeah, because that's a lot of energies and
definitely.
Wow. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. You know, I was concerned, to be honest with you, because with, you know, pre-pandemic and up to through the pandemic, I had not really gone on vacation until recently in October when I went to West Hollywood.
Okay.
And I was quite nervous because I had not been on a plane since fully embarking on this journey 150%. I had not been on a plane. And I was nervous because it's such a tight, confined space with people very, very in a close space, right? And then you have the pandemic, you have everyone wearing a mask, and everything's happening right in the plane, and I was so nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But I conversed with a few of my peers, and we did some great meditations and whatnot. And I have to be honest with you, it was not as bad as walking into a Home Goods.
Okay. I'm never going to look at Home Goods the same.
I'm like, I'm going to never want to walk in there.
I'm never going into a Home Goods again. I'm like, you know what?
I'm just using it as an example because so much energy there.
Home Goods
because
goes out of
people are
business
going
Roy.
crazy.
I know. It's like, I can't go into Home Goods. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, I mean, like, people are jumping to get like that last item because if you don't buy it while it's on that shelf, girl, you're never going to get it, right? So I'm like fighting off people and I'm fighting off spirit. I'm like, what do I do? Oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed.
You're like, get me out. I love it. That's so funny. I mean,
I wanted to transition into, I mean, wait,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
We kind of talked about this earlier when your dating life with
being a psychic
medium empath. Like how is that? How's that going?
Yeah, so it's interesting, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's not the easiest because, you know, it's not something that you really can bring up like right away because you never know how people are. You don't know if people are spiritual, people are not spiritual,
right.
If people believe, if people don't believe. There's so many different walls, right, you need to kind of overcome with this in general. So dating is not easy at all, to be quite honest. And then when you finally do find someone, it's like, when is the right time to actually tell them what you actually do? And then a lot of times it does scare them because they're like, well, like, are you reading my mind right now? Are you thinking that I want to take you to bed right now? Or do you wonder, like, if I want to, like, you know, break up with you? Like, you know, so they don't and the thing that they don't understand is, like, we don't walk around as psychic mediums, like, open, like I had told you, 24/7. If we did that, I wouldn't be able to get out of bed. I'd be so energetically depleted and drained, which is why we do the closed and the open, right? So I don't, like, if I'm really vibing with someone, I don't really want to, like, read them unless I really feel there's something off that I need to maybe tune into. But I don't want to do that because I want the fun. I want the fun of uncovering.
Tune into this real quick. Hold on.
You're like, you know what? You're lying.
That's a red flag. I think I need to look at that real quick.
Like, I think you're lying, and I'm going to check. I'm going to check that one.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
So,
I mean, how do
dating
you...
is not easy. Dating's not easy.
No, but how do you tell? I mean, have you had bad experience in telling guys that you dated?
I've had bad. I've had bad, and I've had good, and I've had so. To be honest with you, so most people, I would say, they say they're okay, and then it's not that easy. I mean, you know, because there's just a lot that goes into it, right? Like, I have to meditate a certain amount per week. There's a lot of things that I have to do, right? Because I'm working with people, and then, like, hours and, you know, doing my readings and throughout the day. It kind of, dating is not easy at all. But the hardest part is really finding out when to tell them and how their reaction is going to be. So I like ask like probing questions a little bit, like I'm a salesman, to try to figure out like, oh, have you ever had a psychic reading? Oh, how do you feel about psychics? Like just to kind of see.
You just got to test the waters a little bit.
I just so happen
like
to
dip
have
your
some
toe in a
oracle
little. You
cards
know,
with me.
you dip your toe in a little bit
Right.
to just kind of see how it goes. But I mean, it's not the easiest. A lot of the biggest fear is that, you know, people are always afraid that I'm going to the psychic's going to figure out I'm lying. You know, they're lying. Right. You know what I mean? That's like their biggest thing. Like, oh, he's going to know I cheated on him. Oh, he's going to know that I'm not sick, even though I told him I'm sick. Oh, he's going to know that I'm not doing it. Oh, you know, like that's what they're most worried about. And yes, could we figure it out? 150%.
Right.
But like, we don't like takes the fun out of the dating too. Do you know what I mean?
It's almost like dating a psychiatrist, though. You know, you're always scared they're gonna like psychoanalyze you or something like that.
Correct.
You know,
it's very, very true. Listen, but you know what? I think it would be fun, honestly. Like if I would date myself.
you know that is how it should be.
You should feel like you would want to date.
Yeah.
No, really.
In general.
Means, yes, seriously. You should feel like I would want to date myself.
100%. And it's not. And I'm not trying to. You know, I'm just coming across like, you know what? I have like. I think it's a beautiful gift, and I think being able to share it, and I think people would be drawn or interested or wanting to connect. You know, so I just think it's like I would say I would date a psychic medium in a heartbeat.
I
think
it's great. I think it's great.
But I'm one, so I mean, I might be biased.
Right. No, I think it's great. I think it's fascinating. But like, okay, so there has been a few like television shows where they have like psychics and psychic mediums. Like, have you ever watched any of those shows? And if so, what do you think about them?
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the shows. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't get wrapped like, you know, there's been a lot of different shows. Yes, I know what you're talking about. I don't really get wrapped up too much into the shows because, I know a lot of them, they are very, very gifted. They are very, very talented, but it's also very scripted. It's like watching the Jersey Shore.
Yep, it's so true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the Jersey Shore, right? So it's like they're just told to do certain things, right? For television, for viewership, right? Like, for example, I would not go up to somebody random at a restaurant or at a grocery store and say, "Oh my God, I just wanted to tell you, this person's with you right now. Let me give you a map." I would not do that. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? That's completely
that's probably a good idea. Not to
Well, no, because it's you know, we learn code of ethics, and that is completely unethical. So it's not something that I was trained, and I would never do that. Right? Everything that I do, and how we're trained is you set up a reading. You ask permission to give a reading. You know what I mean? Yeah. You go over all the everything with the individual, right? You just don't go up to someone randomly and say, "Oh my God, I have a blaring message for you. Let me tell you what it is," while like this person's picking like produce. I mean, like, just don't do that.
You're like your grandma's right next to you.
She's
as you're holding that eggplant. As you're holding that eggplant.
Right. She said, "Girl, stop eating those carbs."
Oh my God. It's like crazy. Yeah.
No, I think that's awesome. I mean, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it's like a serious, real thing that you do. It's not just some stunt.
Oh my God. It's 100%, 100% serious. Oh my, it's like, it's like as if you were going to see a therapist or something. And a lot of times we even refer people to doctors and all that because, they're the professionals. They really know how to help with certain things. So it's really important. So, we always have, numbers and information to give people as well if they need any additional help or guidance along the way. That's just how we are trained and how we operate. And, that's the right way to go about doing something really, really well for someone to provide them the real healing that they need.
I'm so glad you said that because I feel like a lot of this is misunderstood by like the general public. Yep. You know what I mean? Like just a regular Joe Schmo may not understand.
Poor Joe Schmo.
I know, right? We're just throwing home goods.
Poor Joe
Schmo. Joe Schmo always gets it,
I mean, but I do. I feel like maybe a lot of people don't really understand like what you guys do, like what you do and...
That's why I think this is really informative. It's like,
me too.
And you sound very like, I don't want to say knowledgeable because this is your gift, you know, but like,
But
Thank you.
you know what I
But
mean?
yeah,
Like it doesn't, it sounds for real,
it's-
you
yeah,
know,
it's-
and it should.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I take what I do very, very seriously. Like a doctor would take his profession seriously, and like a lawyer takes their profession seriously. You know, what I do is I put a lot of heart, a lot of energy into everything that I do, and to really provide people the utmost healing that they need to be able to see that light, that future, that goal that they're trying to accomplish, right?
Mm.
And there's nothing more gratifying for me than to get, I do a reading and then 3 months later I get an email saying, oh my God, what you told me happened today. And I can't believe, I'm just so grateful to you, how you were able to guide me to this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It brings tears to my eyes, right?
Awesome.
Because no one else would be able to provide these people this information, had it not been for people like me and other psychic mediums who have the intuitive gift, right? I call it a gift, to be able to communicate and provide beautiful information and these messages.
I definitely think it's a gift.
Yeah,
it
me too.
definitely
It is a gift. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get
Beautiful
people
gift.
where their energies are just kind of dark, and you're just like, how do you handle a
You're like,
situation
no,
like
I don't
that?
want to do this.
Yeah, how do you handle that?
I'm just kidding.
Again, I am pretty much someone who sets intentions to really call forth people that will come to me for readings that are going to serve them and going to serve me, right?
Right.
So
Okay.
that way you weed out a lot of what may not be of the best energetic level. But some people do have lower vibrations than others, right? And that can be because you're going through some things, right?
Okay.
So, there's so many things in the world that are happening right now. People, you could have lost someone in your life. You could be struggling with, addiction. You could be going through financial difficulties. You could have just lost your job. There's so many things that could be happening, and this kind of dims your light or brings down your vibration. So it's up to us to help show what needs to be done, that light at the end of the tunnel, right? Give them a prediction on what could come their way if
Gotcha.
this might change, right? And provide them this information. But there are also times, for example, where, there may not just be a good click. Like, I also feel that not every psychic medium is a good fit for every individual, right? So if that does happen, it's just a matter of having conversations saying, you know what, I'm just really not connecting. I'm having a hard time connecting. And I think that it might be better for me to refer you to someone else. I can refer you to, 2 or 3 people. You can pick and choose who you may want. They might be a better fit for you. It's like anything else. It's like when you go to a doctor
Right.
and you're like, I don't know if I want this doctor. I might feel more connected with this doctor. You know what I mean? Or a hairdresser. I'm not liking her vibe, but this one's more my style. It's like anything else, right? It doesn't happen often. I'm going to say it doesn't really happen often because energy is energy, right? But if it does, there's always an option.
Mhm.
There's always a way to get that person the help that they need.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And if you're not vibing and you refer them to somebody else, I mean, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, because you know what? That person might vibe better with, maybe a female medium or, you know what I mean? Someone, you don't know. There's always like a circumstance that just isn't really fitting, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, it doesn't happen often, like very few and far between. But if it does happen, there's always an option. You know what I mean? We never leave anyone stranded.
That's good. Yeah, definitely. I want to talk a little bit, kind of get into your show, reading the Queen,
Yes.
reading the King. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, like how did it
Yeah,
start?
how did it
and,
start?
and
What it's about?
yeah.
Tell the people.
I'm super excited to say that I just hit my 1-year mark on
Congratulations.
November.
Congrats.
November 24th, right? So that Tuesday before Thanksgiving, or 23rd or 2nd, whatever that was my 1-year mark. That was the one that you watched with Androgyny.
Yeah.
I did my 1-year special, and it was really, really nice. I've read probably maybe around 52 Queens, Kings within the year, so almost one a week.
Wow.
Is what I've been doing. And it started a year ago, November, and it was something that I wanted to do that would help me connect with the LGBTQ community. I wanted to give back, and I wanted to provide support. And I said, how can I make this really fun? Because people are nervous. you'd be surprised when they book readings. Like they're like, oh my god, like they're like chattering, their teeth are chattering. I'm like, you can relax, it's fine. And I want to show people that it's not all about like nerves, right? Like you can have fun with it, and it's a beautiful experience. You can get so much out of it. And I said, what a beautiful way to blend what I do with my community and as well with the fun twist with queens, right? Yeah. And it's been truly a blessing. It's been so much fun. I've read so many great queens, which I'm sure, in West Hollywood, many people would know, like Selena S. Titties, Kate Moss, yes. Rhea Latre, G.S. Fort Godoy, No Maybe Queen. And then I've read some kings like Nick Mask, Andrew Christian, underwear model, Colby Melvin, huge social media, OnlyFans personality, Mike MGTV. He was on, MTV shows, Road Rules, I believe, the Lindsay Lohan show, a few of those shows. So it's been really a beautiful, beautiful journey, and just really being able to provide them messages and then their followers to see, wow, if they can get these beautiful messages, you know what, maybe I could use some of this healing, some of this guidance as well. And that's how it all kind of came together. And it's just been beautiful. I've just been loving the journey. I love it. And again, I like giving back to the LGBTQ community. And for me, this is the way to do it, right? To help everyone heal.
Well, that's very important.
Yes, definitely.
So do you do it once a week, or what's the schedule on that one?
So it's generally once a week. It's been once a week for the last year. I am, starting to see if I want to continue doing once a week or do one every other week. I'm going to be doing now something fun for the next half of this, right? So for the second year, I'm going to be bringing in 1 or 2 new queens a month, and then the returning of a queen from the year prior of that month.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, once a week is a commitment. So
once a week, and I've been doing it for once a week. Yeah, it is a commitment. But, things are definitely, there's so much going on. I'm teaching now as well, right? I'm doing a lot of readings. I'm starting to do some couple of events also, so it's just been, I'm trying to fit it all in, right? Fit it all in. So, we're going to see where it takes us. But I like the idea of bringing back an old queen that I read a year ago. So that's going to be really, really fun. So Androgyny was one of the ones that I read a year ago, and I brought her back. I believe that I have the incredible Sasha Colby coming back in January. So I'm excited for that.
That's great to bring them back because, you give the people a where are they at now, kind of
Correct.
This is what happened. And
absolutely.
So that's really cool.
And I've built beautiful relationships with all of these queens. When I was there in West Hollywood, I was at the chapel, and I was there for Sasha Colby's evening, Heavenly Bodies, and she did a beautiful, beautiful, brought me on stage, happy birthday for me, everything. The welcoming and the love of the community and the queens is unbelievable, and I'm so grateful to call everyone there my friend. It's just absolutely a beautiful, beautiful thing.
That's amazing. Yeah. And also there's just something about you that you can feel the good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just
you just feel comfortable around you. You can tell you're a good person.
Yeah.
And you're doing something amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can just feel it. So I
much appreciation. Thank you. I love that. Thank you. Love and light.
Yeah. So I don't know. What else do you want to talk about? I think that.
I'm completely open, guys. Whatever you like to talk about. Like I said, dating has been really a downfall. So if anyone knows anyone that's single or eligible, I am available.
I was
I'm
about
interested.
to ask you that.
I am available.
I am
eligible.
Just kidding.
I cannot read myself, so I will not be able to see who is coming into my life. But and that's something interesting. If you guys may or may not know, I don't read myself. I cannot read my mom and dad. I cannot read my very immediate family.
That's
interesting. It's way too close, right? I'm too connected. Yeah. I know too much of the details. It makes it very, very hard, and my judgment gets clouded by what I know. So it does not allow me to really provide a real, true accuracy for them. So I stay away from immediate family.
That's probably for the best, though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that way you can get that separation.
100%, because I already know enough about them. I don't want to go any darker.
Exactly. You're like, I already know enough about you.
I know already.
I've had enough.
I know the skeletons in the closet. I already know enough. It's like enough is enough already.
Right.
But yeah, that's like super, super, just something that I just don't do. But yeah, I am available. So if you know anyone, please contact me by Instagram.
let me tell you, dating is already hard enough as it is. So I can't even imagine in your situation making it even harder.
It's hard. I know. It's rough. It's like it's difficult. It is a lot. I mean, and the thing is, like, you can only hide for so long, right? Like, how long can you not tell someone this is like your career? Like, you know what I mean?
Especially
like, people ask you, what do you do?
Like,
yeah.
Social media and everything, it's just like too hard.
I know, because it's like you stalk everybody first. You're like, well, what's your handle? Let me see. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I'm like, well, I don't have Instagram. I don't have Facebook. And then, like, all of a sudden you have all of this and it's been around for like ever and you have like 40,000 followers.
Right.
Wow, that happened.
And they're like, okay.
But you lied.
Right. Like, you lied.
Like, crazy. It's so crazy. I know. But yeah, I mean, go ahead.
So with other mediums and psychics, do you have a lot of friends? Like, do you guys get together and like, I don't know how to ask that question. You know what I'm saying, right? Like,
I do know what you're saying. You were tiptoeing around it because you didn't want to say anything. That would
I don't know how to say it. Right. But you know what I mean? Like, how does
Is it
this
a
work?
psychic club?
Right, and like, how does this work?
Is there like a secret society?
Yeah,
Is it like a speakeasy?
Right.
Code?
Like, how does this work?
I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, we meet under the full moon.
Right.
You know. So basically, I have a few very, very close friends that are psychic mediums that I trust. I go to for information, if I need help with certain things or my own guidance. And, you know, like I said, I have my one friend who's very close to me and she teaches with me as well. And she's super amazing. But like anything else, I also feel that you want to keep, you know, you want to make sure that everyone that's in your life is really serving you to your highest and utmost good. And you want to make sure that if you're letting people into your energy and into your life, that these people are going to lift you up and support you. So like anything else, you just want to make sure that you weed out anything that may not really be serving you to a certain degree, right? So I do have psychic medium friends. It's not many. I keep it very, very small and very, very short because it can also be a very competitive industry, like the drag world, right? So it's like, and like, hairdressers, right? I know hairdressers also, they're very, very competitive with each other, right?
They are.
So it's like anything like that, right? So I keep it small, I keep it tight. I have my really great close friends, and we don't meet under a full moon. We can just meet like at,
we can just meet
like,
for coffee,
you know, a restaurant
like,
and have a cocktail or whatnot. It's like, okay. But yeah, it's totally fine and it's fun. So yeah, that's how that works.
So I have another question, but it's not like I don't have to tiptoe around it. But what do you feel? What do you feel about crystals? Because go ahead, tell me what you feel about crystals.
I love crystals.
Yeah.
I think crystals are great. I mean, I really do tell people, like, you know, carry around tiger's eye, carry around smoky quartz, or carry around your rose quartz, right? You know, these are all things to help you and get you through, you know, jade and all these fun stones. I believe in them. I think that they're supercharged. I, you know, cleanse mine. I do fun things with them. Sometimes I'll like cleanse them in the dirt, leave them under the dirt in the full moon, and do different things for them to recharge them. And it's just fun. I totally am a big fan of crystals. So I would say get your crystals and have fun with them and enjoy them.
Adam and I just started kind of like, we found like a crystal place here in LA that we just started to kind of go and get some things. And I don't know, we really loved him. And when we were in there, it was just like
I felt overwhelmed. I was like, I feel like I don't know. It was also the people working there and how they helped us and pick out certain things. But yeah, I just felt like, I don't know. You're just like, okay, I feel like I'm gravitating towards this. Or you know what I mean? It's just, it was a really interesting experience.
Yeah. But I liked it.
It's like fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We really liked it. So I have to go back there because
get some more.
Yeah.
What's it called?
What was it called, Adam? It's on.
It's in Silver Lake.
Yeah, it's in Silver Lake. Was it on Sunset?
I'll look.
Adam's gonna look it
real
up.
quick.
But
We can
a friend of mine took me the first time I went because I kept liking. He had like this crystal bracelet on that I just every time I saw it, loved it. And he was like, let me take you to my crystal shop. And we went, and I just was like, this is amazing. And I bought a few things, and everybody was really helpful, and they were, kind of telling me about things. And then I said, Adam, we have to go to this.
Yeah, it's called Spellbound Sky.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a beautiful name. I love it.
Yeah. And it's just really, you go in and you just, I don't know, we were just so into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's very recent for me, so it was
I mean, the energy when you walk into any type of metaphysical store is always really beautiful because the space is always cleansed. There's such a beautiful energy charge. Mm-hmm. All the crystals in there, right? Such a beautiful energy charge, right? So there's just so much going on, and they probably sell candles and other things as well. Like I'm big on like sage and cleansing and using sage and candles and the crystals and pendulums and the oracle cards, like all of these fun divination tools that we have to work with to really help us connect and spiritually just align. I'm also big on chakras as well, right? So aligning the chakras, making sure that you're balanced. So some people will go like and get Reiki done. Reiki is a form of treatment. It's with the hands. You have a Reiki master that kind of tells you where you have some blockages, why you might feel off balance or off kiltered a little bit, and what you might need to work on. So some people have like their throat chakra that may not be fully functioning or might be gummed up, which means that they're not someone that's able to always speak their truth or speak how they feel. They let people overspeak them, or they need to use their voice more. And if they use their voice more, it will allow them to feel more empowered, right? Mm-hmm. So you can align your chakra with some Reiki treatment to get that done. There's just so many different variations in spirituality as well that all fall under like different umbrellas, but all still kind of do the same thing at the end of the day, which is really help people heal.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's very interesting. It's a lot of interesting.
I could talk to you for 2 hours.
I know. I was just gonna say we could literally keep going and going and going.
I know. I was gonna say this too. We are definitely gonna have to have you on again.
Yeah, we'll have a part 2, 3, 4, whatever.
Definitely doing this again because I could just keep going forever.
Do it again. 100%. Well, here's the good news. I am planning to hopefully. I'm booked to come back out there again. I will be doing another brunch at Mickey's in West Hollywood with Cake Moss. I'm planning to come out in February for about 10 to maybe 14 days. Oh, so if I'm out there again, hopefully you both will be there this time. Yeah, and we can always connect and do another show again, and you can air it a little bit later if you want, but at least we can meet in person and do something. And I can come in and
that would be
fantastic. And do something fun.
We definitely
I'll pull some cards for you.
Yeah, we definitely have to do that. We'd be amazing.
That would be so cool.
That would be absolutely amazing.
I'm looking forward.
Yeah, and I'll bring my cards and I'll pull some cards for you while we're doing the podcast. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that would be really fun. Cool. That would be really fun.
All right.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, so much fun.
Looking forward to that. I think because I could just continue talking.
I know.
I think we'll go into our last segment real quick here.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
I'm ready. I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. Ma'am, what do you think? All right, so I'm going to read this random question, and it'll be just kind of a fun one, and then you'll give your answer, and then Adam and I will give our answer about it as well.
Okay.
So this one is it's kind of funny. So, ma'am, what do you think about, or I guess it's really kind of like, have you ever? But man, what do you think about sending a nude photo to the wrong person? Have you ever done that?
This is a fun one. Actually, I knew it was going to be something kind of borderline naughty.
Of course.
I felt it, and I knew it.
Of course, it had to be.
Why do I feel like they're all naughty questions in there? To be
honest,
I know. I figured if I went through that deck, I can only imagine.
Right. Yeah, seriously.
So the question is, have I ever sent? Well, I will say yes, I have. And what was the second part of it? What was the second?
Ma'am, what do you think about sending a nude photo to the wrong person?
Yeah,
I think there's nothing wrong with it. Honestly, I mean, like, listen, I I'm going to go into this a little spiritual. I'm going to flip it on you, and I'm going to say, listen, I believe everything happens for the right reason, and there would be a reason why that photo would go to that person incorrectly.
Yeah.
That's the universe really saying that this person maybe is meant to see you in all of your glory. So I'm going to say that that is what was meant to happen.
That's a good way
I
to
love
look
that
at
answer.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
Have you ever done that?
How do you like that answer? Listen, I gave you the real positive spin on that,
You
and
really
that's
did. You really did. I love it.
I don't know if I've actually done that. Like,
think I've
I don't know
almost
if
done
I've
it.
sent it to the wrong person. I mean, I've never sent a nude video or nude
Oh,
photo.
shut up.
But yeah, no, I think that it would be a little traumatizing for me for a
Well,
minute,
if it was your mom,
depending on
maybe.
who the person was. Yeah, it would be a little, you know.
I don't think I've done. I think I've gotten close to doing it, and I've realized, oh my God,
Whoops.
wrong person.
Yeah.
Like before I hit send,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I've done it. But yeah, I don't even know how you play that. You'd be like, okay, well, you've seen me.
Well, you've seen all of me now, so
you know what? You've seen them all.
Right? It's like, okay,
it's
well,
true. It's just a nude. It's just a naked body.
it's kind of true though.
That's all. And then I'm going to go again spiritually. I'm going to say, then there's a lesson to be learned. Don't send pics.
Right. Right. Don't. Okay. That really is the bottom line.
Yep.
It's like, okay, well,
Well,
just don't send new pics.
that is the end of the streak of sending
I'm
nude
going to say,
photos.
get an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Right. Or get an, like, if you're going to
At
do it,
least
just
make
get
money
an
off
OnlyFans,
of it,
right?
you
Make
know?
some coins out of it at least.
Correct. Correct.
Well,
Hit up the Venmo.
right. Seriously. Like, you're welcome. So
Oh, well, that was a fun one.
that was a
question.
fun one.
Well,
I like
yeah, definitely. I thank you so much for coming on again. I think this has been a great episode. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Me too.
And where can people follow you and get to know you or
Get
stalk you
readings or
you know?
whatever. Yeah, right. Whatever.
Please stalk me, follow me, contact me if you would like a reading. I appreciate and love to communicate with everyone, and I get back to everyone as quickly as I can within my time constraint. But you can follow me on Instagram.
Okay.
So everything is my Instagram is C like Charlie, so CELEBT, then the number 10. So celeb T and then 10.
Okay.
And then I have a link tree there. And on my link tree, we'll have my TikTok, my YouTube, my Facebook, other podcasts that I've been on, as well as I was featured in the LA Blade in March.
That's awesome.
And they interviewed me for Reading the Queen. So there's a beautiful article that there's a link there that you can read about me and my interview with the LA Blade, which was done like such a fun time with them. So I have a whole bunch of stuff in my link tree. So just check it all out. Everything else is Spirit Talk with Roy. Very easy. Spirit Talk with Roy will bring you to my TikTok, my YouTube, my webpage, everything else. So yeah, connect with me. I would love to connect with everyone. And I'm sure you'll have my handles
Yes.
posted up and everything all over the
We'll
place.
put that on the episode for sure.
Yeah, we'll post it.
And on our Instagram.
Yep. Spirit Talk
Great.
with Roy, people.
Yes.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Spirit Talk with Roy. So easy, right? Or
Yeah.
Celeb T10. That's
Yeah.
it.
Love that.
And then you can follow us at Adam and Steve Podcast or me at Adman2005, Steven
At Green Eye Steve.
yes. And remember that God made Adam. Oh, before I start that
Yes.
little spiel, thank you everyone for listening. And again, thank you for coming on, Roy. It's been a joy. And that rhymes.
I know. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself today. So
Yeah, it's been great. So, but
Thank you. I appreciate both of you. Thank you for having me.
Sure.
of course, yes. I hope to have you again,
Yep.
like we said. So, but everybody else, remember that God made Adam and Eve, but He also made
Adam and Steve.
any problems.
Pray about
it.